You know that feeling, right? You're in the middle of something important online, and suddenly you're logged out. Everything you were working on, gone. We've all been there. But then, have you ever stopped to wonder why some apps, like Gmail, just let you stay logged in all day long, no problem? Well, the secret to that magic is something called a refresh token. I mean, really think about it. You open up Gmail in the morning, you work, you close the tab, you come back hours later, and you're still in. There are no annoying pop-ups, no demands for your password every half hour. How on earth does that actually work under the hood? And then you've got the total opposite experience. You're filling out a form, you get distracted for just a couple of minutes, you come back to your computer, and boom, your session has expired, please log in again. It is so frustrating. The difference between that smooth, seamless experience and that constant headache often boils down to one key piece of tech: refresh tokens. Now, this constant logout thing, it isn't a bug. It's actually a really big challenge for modern web apps, especially for what we call single-page applications, or SPAs. You know, apps like React or Angular that feel super fast and responsive. They're constantly talking to APIs in the background, and the old way of doing login sessions just can't keep up. And this right here really just paints the perfect picture. On one side, you have a world without refresh tokens, and it's a user experience nightmare. We're talking constant interruptions and just plain annoying logouts. But on the other side, you get this silent, behind-the-scenes reauthentication that keeps everything locked down and secure, all while feeling totally invisible to the user. It's the best of both worlds. So, how do we pull off this magic trick? It's all thanks to this awesome team of tokens that work together. So let's meet our two key players, the access token and its partner, the refresh token. All right, first up is the access token. The best way to think about this is like a single-use ticket to a concert. It's designed to be really short-lived. We're talking it expires in just a few minutes. And that's for a very good reason: security. If a hacker somehow steals it, the damage they can do is super limited because it becomes useless really fast. And here's its partner in crime, the refresh token. So if the access token is your single-use ticket, the refresh token is like your long-term season pass. Its one and only job is to go back to the ticket office, that's the authentication server, and securely get you a brand new access token whenever the old one expires. And this thing can be valid for hours or sometimes even days. So when you put them side by side, it's super clear, right? They have very different jobs. The access token is your short-term pass to actually get stuff done, like making API calls. The refresh token, on the other hand, is your long-term key to prove you're still you so you can stay logged in. They're not interchangeable at all. They're a team and they work together perfectly. Okay, so how do these two actually work together? Well, it's a process I like to call the silent handshake. And the best part is, it all happens completely behind the scenes, without the user ever noticing a single thing. Here's the play-by-play. First, you sign in. Your app gets both an access token and a refresh token. Then, after a few minutes, that access token expires. But, and this is the crucial part, instead of logging you out, the app just quietly sends the refresh token back to the server. The server checks it, says, yep, this is valid, and sends back a fresh, new access token. Your session continues, and you never even knew anything happened. All right, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do this in our apps? And more importantly, how do we do it securely and without a massive headache? Well, this is where modern libraries and some key best practices come into play. Before we go any further, let's get one thing crystal clear. This right here, this is the golden rule. You should never, ever store a refresh token where your client-side JavaScript can touch it, like in local storage. That would be like leaving your house keys under the welcome mat. So the big question is, where do we put it? Well, the right way to store it really depends on the kind of app you're building. For a mobile app, you'd use the phone's built-in secure storage. For a traditional server-side app, you'd stick it in a secure database. But for us, building single-page applications in things like React or Vue, the absolute best practice is to let a library or an SDK handle it for you. Think of it as a toolbox that does all the tricky security stuff for you. And the really great news is that you don't have to build any of this from scratch. Libraries like Microsoft's MSAL, which stands for Microsoft Authentication Library, handle all the heavy lifting. MSAL securely stores your tokens, it automatically handles that silent renewal process we talked about, and it even manages advanced security features like token rotation. That's a huge security win. So what does this actually look like in your code? Well, you're going to love this. It's surprisingly simple. This one line of code, acquire token silent, is pretty much all you need.
When you call this, MSL first checks its secure cache for a valid access token. If it finds one, great, it gives it to you instantly. If not, it automatically uses the refresh token to get a new one for you, all behind the scenes. It's that easy.
And honestly, this is the biggest security win of them all. When you use a library like MSAL, the refresh token, that super sensitive, long-lived credential, is never ever exposed to your application's JavaScript code. It's all managed by the library in a secure place, which massively reduces the risk of it getting stolen. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. So to make sure all of this really sticks, let's wrap it up with one final, super simple way to think about all of this. We'll call it the security guard analogy. Here's how it breaks down. Your access token, that's your disposable, single-entry ticket to get into the event for the day. Your refresh token, that's your valuable season pass, but you don't carry it around. You keep it locked up safely at the front desk. And MSAL, the library, that's the helpful security guard who knows who you are, goes to the front desk for you, uses your season pass to get you a new daily ticket, and never, ever lets you handle that valuable season pass yourself. So, the next time you stay logged into an app all day without a single interruption, you'll know exactly what's going on, that silent handshake between an access token and a refresh token. It's a simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful, and it's what makes the modern web feel so seamless. So now that you know the secret, what amazing experience are you going to build?